Eating my food? Why you touching my fork? Why do you even know it?
You're putting a fork in this. I don't even want metal inside your food.
Okay, I'm live and I apologize. Good evening and welcome. Welcome to my crazy household where I don't have any privacy. I'm trying to do this live stream for you and try to do a really professional job, and I'm scolded. Okay. Well, good evening. You've reached Fight CPS and Stop Taking Our Children. I'm Bob Pace, your host, and I'm glad you found me on this Facebook. There are two shows I do twice a day. One is in the morning, Fight CPS with Bob Pace, and the other one is the evening is Fight CPS and Stop Taking Our Children. Both shows are twice a day, 14 times a week. That's 7 and 7. I'm on every night of the week at 7 p.m. And then I'm on again at 10 a.m. Monday through Friday, and on the weekends, 8 a.m. So tomorrow I'll be on at 8 a.m. And I'm glad you found it because this is a live stream that's supposed to help you with CPS matters. Many of you are regulars in my room, and I'm glad to see you here. I really am glad to see you here. Now, this is broadcast live around the world, and we've reached 23 countries. Um, the United States is one of them, and I've reached everybody in the United States, all 50 states, including the Washington D.C. Uh, they all have a similar problem that I did. I ran into a corrupt CPS entity. The Child Protection System is what I call it. It's a government entity that was created by Congress in '62 and informed social service to create a group of social workers and an entity. The problem is they created different entities in every state, which makes it really confusing. So I just say CPS, the Child Protection System. Every county, every state has one. Every country has one. Now, country-wise, I've heard from a lot of people um, around the world and around the United States. Total of almost 1,900 people I've talked to over 20 months. Back because they find it's a family and I try to help them out here. This is a hard thing twice a day to come and talk about. I don't know anybody else that does this twice a day on YouTube. But, I do it here with compassion and help and understanding and try to help you with your case. Now, your case may be all kinds of issues involved in it. Unless you tell me about your case, I can't help you. So please, if you're going to be in here, text me a message. If there's a comment or a question about CPS, we need to pertain to CPS. That's what we're here for. Please state your first name, something simple like Mary, John, or Paul. I know a lot of you have fantastic names like Fly with Fairies or Fruit Fly or some weird name. I just like the simple name. And then also your city or county and your state. Now, if you're from outside the United States, your country. And so far, country wise, we've had Indonesia, Bangladesh, India, and then the Middle East, we've had Saudi Arabia and Libya. Then over in Africa, we've had Liberia and Sudan and the Republic of Congo, um, Rwanda, and then Mozambique, and then South Africa. Then up to Europe, we've had England, Scotland, and Wales, Denmark, and Sweden. And then across the pond to North America, we have Canada, and we have, hold on one second. Hold on one second here. I'm back. Now we're going to see who texts me. I want to thank Christina for sending me emails. Okay. Um, there's a person here, Megan Wilson. If you're around, Megan, um, Grace told me you were scheduled the 26th. Okay, I just wrote Megan Wilson that she had scheduled a time, but apparently she was a no-show. So I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Well, hey, Natalia. Pretty good, Natalia. I'm doing fine. I'm glad to hear your voice. You've been worrying me. Mm-hmm. Okay, for all my listeners, I got Natalia from West Hollywood, who's been fighting CPS for a long time, and she has a lot of health problems too that have been hurting her too. And hello there. We have a person called Hale, Hal. Um, uh, no, let's see here. Halo, holo, hello. I guess it's Halo. Hala. Yeah. Hollow. Anyway, she's writing it. Excuse me 1 minute, Natalie. I'm doing my show. I'll get to you in a second. Yeah. She says she's from Texas. And she said the investigator who removed my kids was in bed with the traffickers that were targeting us. CPS says they'll stop visits if I fight for reunification or court order visits with my three youngest. Well, no, that is a threat. And with that kind of threat, you need it. Okay. Excuse me, now to let me finish answering. Okay. Yeah, Natalie has been on my show in a while, but anyway, I have people that call in, Natalie, and I'm trying to address their concerns and you as well. Also, they're texting in there. So you need to go up the ladder to the director or even go to Doge with that. The reason why I'm saying that is wrong. You should not be held hostage that you won't get your kids back if you fight for family reunification. That's wrong. Now, I don't know what part of Texas you're talking about. I've had lots of people lately from Texas, but I don't know if that's the Houston area, the Dallas area, the El Paso area, or what. If you could tell me your county or city, that would help a lot there. And let me see here who else I have. That's it. So far, I have two people on tonight. I have Natalia, who is from West Hollywood, California, and she's on the phone and wants to talk about her CPS case. And I got Hello, who's from Texas. I don't know what part of Texas. And they want to talk about the investigator keeping their children. If they don't sign things or go along with the game, they'll lose their children. So what is your update on your CPS case? What's your update?
It's different. 10 years old this week. In May.
But your son's still living with a relative up in Washington, right? And where is your daughter living? Where's your daughter living? Okay, and they're with a foster care parents. Now, are the both children at the same foster care? Or they have two different foster care. Okay, all right. And the reason why all this time they have not given you, do you still have visitation rights? Okay. And what was the result? What was the results of the two appeals?
It's no relation to my case. And the second thing is they went on the factor of how factor that that they something about the ICPC that it's not necessary
Okay.
to wait.
Well, that's not good news because now you have to wait till they're 18.
No.
Now you have to wait till they're 18. And hopefully, well, yeah, I understand that, but that is going to be a hard one to get the guardianship if they won't give. If you're the biological mother, it's ridiculous because a guardianship is usually when a child needs to be taken care of. They're a special needs child and they need a guardian, and it's usually children over the age of 18. Okay, okay. Well, then that's what a guardianship is for because they can't take care of their own business affairs. Well, okay, but if the rights have been terminated, the foster parents have already adopted your child, and so that's out of the picture. Well, you're gonna have to have some rights to them because how are you gonna get guardianship? The parents don't want to give up their your two daughters. Hmm? No, you okay. A guardianship is supposed to look out the best interests of the child. They've already been adopted in foster care, so the foster care people are looking at the best interests of the child. Well, it's not going to come home because they have a court order that says they have guardianship of your children. Well, that's where you're going to need an attorney. And right now, unfortunately, you don't have the money for an attorney because you have a very corrupt system that you're trying to fight. I think yours is LA County. I think it's LA County, right? Yeah. Right. I know. Right. Okay. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear about that. Okay, let me go back to my ground rules about my room. The second way if you can participate in this live stream is to be a guest on uh, my live stream. All you have to do is email Grace. She's my show producer at grace@vincentwdavis.com. And you just ask her, I want to be on Bob's Sunday morning show or Bob's Wednesday night show or Bob's Friday morning show or Saturday night show. You just tell Grace when you want to be on and she'll send you a link. The link will be to StreamYard, which I use for the application, and then I'm broadcasting on YouTube. So when you copy and paste that link, it'll take you there. If you get bounced off, you can post the link again and get back in. But anyway, being a guest, you can talk on the show. I can have up to 9 of you. With me makes 10. So with phone call, I'm limited to one person at a time. Now, when she essentially there's certain rules you must follow, like there's no profanity on the show, there is no eating or smoking on the show, and we do not use the names of children, social workers, or the judges. Okay, let's see who else we have here. People have been talking to me and crazy. I've had a lot of people the last couple of days. I've had a most interesting story about a family in Santa Clarita that was charged with medical trafficking. Not, yeah, not medical trafficking. Was charged with medical neglect of their 4-month-old child. Yes, and so what had happened is that their daughter got some pains in the chest area. They went to their primary care physician, the pediatrician. They said to go to the hospital. They went to the hospital, and the hospital did a sonotrol. They did not do an X-ray or an MRI. Anyway, the hospital misdiagnosed that she thought it was appendicitis, and the parents said they want to get a second opinion. Well, that's when the social worker stepped in at the hospital and said, "No, you have to have the appendix. You're neglecting your child. We'll prosecute you." So they talked to me, and we learned all about appendicitis and the gallbladder. That's what the child had, was gallstones. And what happened was the appendix was on the right-hand side of the groin area. On the left-hand side is the gallstones. So the doctor misdiagnostic, and also the social worker is not a doctor. It's not a doctor, but they're trying to step in there. They're trying to step in there and say they had to do it. So anyway, the parents got their second opinion, didn't want to argue, went ahead and had the appendix removed. But then they found out she still had the pains. They bring her back into the third doctor, and they do an X-ray, and they see gallstones, and it's on the left side is where the pains was. The right side is where the appendix, so she had no pain on the right side. Anyway, they are taking special I guess, pills or things that will help dilute the gallstones. They'll pass out of the urinary tract. But that's all the child had, and yeah, that is an unpleasant experience. But what's more painful experience is to have a 4-month-old child have to have surgery unnecessary and lose her appendix. Now, appendix is a vital organ. People say, "Oh, we don't need to live." That's true. There's a lot of organs you don't need to live. You can get by with one heart, you know. But what I'm trying to tell you right now is that every organ in the body has a purpose. And the purpose of the appendix is to help out with the gut digestive system. It also helps with immunity to certain diseases. So do not take out the appendix. That was, and so what's happened now? What happened now is the parents spent a good 2 of my shows and talked to me for 2 hours, and we learned all about appendix and learned about the hospital paperwork and how they screwed up and stuff. They have a lawsuit against the hospital and a lawsuit against CPS interfering. And that was called that, you know, that is terrible what they did to the child. And so they said that they don't have an attorney yet. That was last week. I said, well, ask the judge for continuance for 60 or 80 days. They want to talk to Vincent. Anyway, what had happened is they only got a 1-day continuance, so they had to have it back in court on Friday. But it worked because I helped them find a judge, and they brought in a real judge. And the real judge put a real attorney that's representing the plaintiff. And that attorney was really good and stopped the judge straight in his track. In fact, he had the worst look on his face when he came in to the courtroom on Friday, because these parents were dedicated to have an attorney. They kept their commitment. Anyway, they're going to prove it wrong. They got the attorney, and I don't know if they'll ever get a chance to talk to Mr. Davis or not, but that is one way that I was able to help people here, because we sit here and analyze the situation, we look it up on the internet, and we think it out. No, they refused any treatment for the child. They said that the parents were disputing about they were disputing about not doing the appendix, but the parents wanted a second opinion. They're certainly entitled to a second opinion. Right, and the social worker is interfering right now in the hospital. I tell you guys for a long time, my rule number 3 is that they always want to take away your child that you just give birth in the hospital, or they want to take away your child that you're trying to get help for them. And this is a classic example. Anyway, I got more people that came in here. I have a person called Victoria Skull Tori. CPS sucks. I know they suck. They really do. No question about that. But not all CPS is bad. Carrie, Victoria Show, I have no idea where you're from, but could you tell me where you're from? Also, Carrie Sampson, can you supervise your caseworker bringing up an old case that is closed in court for emergency hearing? I don't know what that's all about, Carrie. You need to call into my show. In fact, let me put my phone number up because we've already talked about being a guest and about text and messages. Now I want to put my phone number up. Now there's my phone number, 626-698-0990. I have Natalia on the phone. And so I can take another phone call. I can ask Natalia to call back and take your call. But right now, I need to know more information, Carrie, about your case so I can help you. I need more information, Carrie Sampson, and also I need to know where you're located, as well as Victoria Schuler and Hollow Scissor in Texas. But I need more information about what she is describing there. So right now we have 3 people have text messages. We got one person on the phone. Is there anything else about your case you'd like to discuss, Natalia?
Who's my daughter, my first daughter, and I'm mentally disabled. Okay, mentally ill. I don't have a mental illness, and the reason why the social worker always goes in there is to take the child is because the doctor doesn't want to do anything. Okay, the doctor doesn't care, and also it's just an easy way out for them to get a break to not take care of the child. You know?
Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's a problem, and I get angry about medical neglect charges, especially with that family over there in
Santa Clarita,
area.
yeah, that is really bad.
Opinion, okay. In my case, since I had a tumor, I waited over a year. They wouldn't do anything for me. I almost died in my front step.
Wow.
I almost did.
Okay, we have a regular person in the room, Dorothy Cook. She's from North Carolina. Welcome, Dorothy Cook. Natalia says hi, and she says, thanks to God for the help that's provided so many ways. I agree with you. I am trying my best to help you all. I really do. I spend, all my showtime helping people with their case. I tell them about some rules to live by, some things you got to be careful around CPS, and I tell you the importance of my rules and everything. And they're recorded. I just don't like to talk to them all the time because it's going to be drowning you out. Okay, we got some. I'm sorry, I still hear you, Natalia. Did you lose me? Oh, yeah. We have emoji. I love emojis from Dorothy Cook. The squirrel is sort of scrunched up face, but I love happy faces and hearts and thumbs up. Those are always good. Even some stars would be nice. And so I like to also tell you to check below to follow me. And if you want to be notified, check the notification button. And so Dorothy says, hi back to all. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Natalia. Go ahead.
Just that
Mhm.
because they just want to take that child and make that $1 billion in a second or whatever it is.
Trillions of dollars. Trillions of dollars. Yes. 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 Yes.
Didn't believe it. And he was a former policeman.
Wow.
Wow, yeah. So she believes it's social worker, the judge.
Okay.
So we're dealing with people that are corrupt, you know. And in my case, my daughters, they were really supposed to go with my son to Washington State, and but she broke the law. She broke the law, and they cannot be separated. But she broke and it's ridiculous. I mean, the appeal court didn't even think that far that they should be together. That's why I got on my second appeal. I was just like, no,
Yeah. Yeah.
no.
I'm sorry to hear
The
that,
only
Natalia.
is when you were evidence on your appeal.
Right.
What
Right.
is
Right. Now, all you guys are, yeah, all you guys are listening. I was just going to say, please text me a message or, about CPS or a question or a comment. Just, text me something there so I can help you, not only help you. I got some updated news about Faye Manley, the mother from Richmond, Kentucky. She is not doing well at all. Her liver is failing and her things, she's not doing well at all. She had a bad case of pneumonia. She got over that, but now she's not doing well. So all you guys have to say special prayers for Faye Manley. Faye Manley is from Richmond, Kentucky, and she always would help people. Yeah. Well, it's okay. I was looking for you. I was going to get ready to call you, so I'm glad that you came in tonight. Hmm. Again, where were you robbed? Who cut the lock? Why would the gardener cut the lock?
$1,500 to me roller briefcase with leather.
Okay.
Yeah, and and more planters
Okay.
and everything.
Wow. Okay. Well, we have someone come in called Happy Feet. They've been with me before. I know they're from Arizona, and Happy Feet has really been struggling in Arizona. Um, we are still fighting CPS for ICWA rights. See, they have the Indian child welfare. Their husband, her husband is the one that has the Indian blood, and their children has Indian blood. So they're trying to get there. So she said that our oldest daughter told us we're going to be grandparents. Well, that's congratulations, Happy Feet. So you're going to have your children from your daughter. Well, that's great. But isn't your oldest daughter a little young to be having children? I don't know if she's having children in foster care. What the situation is there, Happy Feet? Maybe you can tell me. Maybe you can tell me. So I've the Osage, the Lakota Sioux, and there's a tribe up in Canada, the Indigenous, the First Nation people up there, and they're trying, but it's still the CPS is still corrupt. I think that was the Osage in Oklahoma. Was that the Osage in Oklahoma? Okay, that was the Osage. I haven't heard from her in quite some time. I haven't heard from her in quite some time. No. We haven't changed them at all. We've not changed them at all. 7 p. Excuse me. In the Saturday, Sunday, it's 8 a.m. During the weekdays, it's 10 a.m. And on the evenings, it's 7 p.m. 7 nights a week. Oh boy, yeah, I do. I do. Okay. Uh, it's getting close to 8 o'clock. We got about 3 more minutes before 8 o'clock, and my show will have to end. And so, did I do what? I haven't done my rules in quite some time. I can talk about my rules again. Um, Rule number one is you need to get an attorney, and I'm telling you, the court-appointed attorney or the public defender isn't going to be the one that's going to help your case. Sad to say, they're no good. They're overloaded with cases, somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 cases. They don't have time to fight your case or spending time on or even talk to you. The only time you talk to your public defenders is when you're in court for your hearing, and that's when they talk very briefly. So it's really yes, yes. Yeah, yeah. Well, she lives in a bad neighborhood, so it is hard. It is hard. Thank you, Happy Feet. Thank you for the God bless. Um, what's the Yeah, Happy Feet? What's the latest with the Indian tribe, the Iqua Act? What's the latest? You can tell me. That'd be great. That'd be great.
What happened to Equa?
Well, they are a native. Their husband's a Native American. Their children are Native Americans, and they're trying to get CPS to turn the children over to the tribe. And so I was asking them, "What's the latest?" Well, yeah, they have all these laws. They have all these laws, but they don't follow the laws. So, yeah, I know it's wrong. Yeah. Now, Happy Feet says that the state didn't serve the tribe. What you need to do, Happy Feet, is you contact the tribe and ask if your husband's registered and your children can be registered. If they're not registered, ask them to be registered. But you got to do it. CPS will drag their feet or forget about it. You can't trust CPS. You can't trust CPS.
So, these CPS, they keep those kids, so they make money, but it's very complicated with the equal. I'm not familiar with it too much. I'd have to research it, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
complicated.
yeah, it is. It is.
Okay.
They're with the Choctaw tribe. Her husband is registered. No, Choctaw in Arizona. Well, there's Choctaw in Oklahoma, but the Osage is the one that was the woman was having problems with. There is Choctaw and there's Osage. There are many tribes in Oklahoma because that was an area that in 1875 they sent a lot of the Indian tribes to. Anyway, Natalia, I'm going to have to end the show because it's 8:00. I want to thank all my followers for all your input. Again, Happy Feet. It's nice to hear from you from Arizona, who's trying to do the ICWA thing. Nice to see Dorothy Cook from North Carolina and what she's doing. Carrie, I want to help. I need some more information, Carrie. Victoria, I would like some more information too. I know that CPS is bad. And Hollow from Texas, I agree. It's really bad, but I need some more information. Now, I'm on again tomorrow morning at 8:00 Pacific Standard Time. And if some of you are on the East Coast, you add 3 hours to 8:00. So it's 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11. So 11, I'm on. Okay, I'm going to hold on, Natalia. I got to put you on hold. Hold on. Okay, someone just tried to call me. Let me see who that was. Hold on. Well, I don't know who called. Okay, well, anyway, I'm going to sign off, and there will be a brief message from Attorney Vincent Davis at the end of my live stream. Please, fighting for your kids. God bless you, and have a good evening. This is Bob Pace signing.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against it, it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last one.